shop. Candy, candy, candy.
I taste just like candy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ask for Candy, where a bunch of powerhouse men and women get together online to talk about love, sex, relationships, and what it takes to be amazing on the daily. Who I am Candace Harper, lovecoach.com. I help hardworking women and couples who have survived abuse to be vibrant, alive, magnetic, and passionate while creating healthy, intimate relationships. I'm really excited to be coming to you from Gotham Podcast Studios tonight. So those of you who've been listening know that one of the things that I am committed to for this podcast is in 2019 is a vast improvement in the quality of the production, which is what we're working on. Those of you who are on live, you probably see us in the new studio, and those of you who are listening on the audio, we're working out all the kinks. You know, it takes a little bit. When you decide to level up, I'm leveling up like Ciara did last summer. And when you decide to do that, sometimes you have some kinks and some, issues you have to work through, but we're getting there. So anyway, I'm at Gotham Podcast Studios, which is a fantastic place. It's brand new. If you do a podcast and you're in New York City, you got to find out about them. You got to Google them. They're amazing. So those of you who've been paying attention, hi, my Lee. I see that you just came on the live on Facebook. This summer, I am doing a theme. It's called Badass Bachelors. All summer long, I'm here to prove to all the ladies out there that there are decent, wonderful, single, commitment-minded men that are still available, still out there, and still looking for you. That's my whole goal this summer. And if I'm completely honest, full disclosure, it's like my dating life, trying to cast these bachelors. And even though I'm trying to prove a point, I am actually coming up against a whole lot of challenge around it. And, trying to find people and make sure they're 100% single and, make sure they're not cracked out and that they're decent guys. I have a really decent guy here tonight who I'm going to introduce you to in a second. Right now, I'm about to share to our page, which I want everybody to join. Our page is Ask for Candy, the podcast. So, join that page. Right now I'm sharing the Candace Harper Love Coach. So you guys can be watching there. Join that page and you'll know what we're doing, when we're doing it, and, we'll talk about it. We have conversations. And tonight, my special guest, Wayne Lyte Brown, who I'm going to be calling Lyte. I toggle back and forth. Because I think the first time that I met you, I asked you your name and you said Lyte Brown. And I said, is that on your birth certificate? And you were like, okay, it's Wayne.
I pay bills in it.
That's all that matters. Whatever's on your government. So Wayne is 40 years old, and he's originally from Harlem, and he's an entrepreneur, an artivist, which I'm going to ask you about that. I kind of have an idea of what that is, but I want you to talk about it a little. And a business coach. He's also father to a beautiful 7-year-old son, who I had the pleasure of meeting when he was 5 years old, I think. And he's so precocious and just adorable and sweetest kid. And he is also, as of this Mother's Day, a husband-to-be. Mm-hmm. See, this is the kind of luck I have. When I go looking for bachelors, I find the ones that are husbands-to-be. But I still think, what I think is great about that is the whole point of this is that even in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, that there are still men that are commitment-minded. You just got engaged about a month ago, so you were on your path for a while, too, of singlehood, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to delve into that, too. So what else? Let's tell some more about you. Wayne is also an advocate for young fathers between the ages of 16 to 24, and you're a mentor, right?
Yes.
Helping with building families and teaching. That sort of thing?
That's my passion.
That's your passion? All right, cool. That's going to be one of the vulnerability questions later on, so you can expound on that. And what else? Devoted to 25 years of youth and community-based programs, and one of your ultimate goals is to build a housing facility for young fathers. And we're going to dive into that too. So for 15 years, you've been the owner of ABA Designs. And tell me again what ABA stands for?
Avoid being average.
Avoid being average designs. I love that. You're also a coach and a consultant who specializes in teamwork, communication, and leadership development. And since you are not officially betrothed just yet, I allowed you to come on and be our badass bachelor. It's not official yet, although we want it to be. Like, we're all about supporting love and the success of love.
It's gonna be official.
It's gonna be official. So tell us something about you, Wayne, that I haven't already mentioned. Something personal you want to say to the people. You want to share?
I love my wife to be.
Aw, I love that. Yeah. So ladies out there, that was just your signal. Just okay. Stay listening. But if you were thinking for even a moment that there was a chance, forget it.
Look, Tanya, I love you.
Are you ready? Are you ready to do this vulnerability quiz? Do you feel like you can roll with it?
Should I be scared?
I feel like a little bit, maybe.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. Let's just do it. The first question is, what are you passionate about? You want to talk about that or talk about whatever you want?
You know, family.
Yeah.
Definitely family first. God, family, and you say passion. It hits my heart again. My son was my all, my everything, and he still is. But to be able to grow and expand on that, my passion definitely comes first. Family, the young fathers that I mentor, that I work with, it's what gets me up every morning.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, the young men that I work with, they remind me of so many different, remind me of myself or friends I grew up with. You know, just.
Don't be nervous. Are you a little nervous? Like, you can tell the truth.
Well,
Because this is not a judgmental community.
You know
this
what,
is a very sweet community.
like I'm nervous, but at the same time I'm excited.
Oh, good. Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
it's, you know, nervous and excitement. Your body has the same sensations.
Totally.
And particularly, it's Father's Day, and like I shared, what I'm passionate about is fatherhood.
Yeah.
And what you see is when I speak about this, I think about my father, I think about my grandfather, I think about the examples that was there for me to be able to sit here right now. Like, this is an honor for me to even to be speaking about. I'm 40 years old, you know, I'm about to be married, and have my son, and it's been a long road to just being here to be able to speak about this and to be transparent, right? To be vulnerable and not afraid to be an example in this right now.
I love that. That's fantastic. See, this is exactly why I wanted you to come on for Father's Day.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. That's fantastic. Do you want to say anything about your father, or you want to say anything about your son, specifically in honor of Father's Day?
Yes. So something I say and I give all of my champions, my young men that I work with, I give them an assignment, and I have them tell their fatherhood story, and I give them an assignment that I did myself. And how my fatherhood story starts is I was ashamed of my father before I became a father. And you know, I love my father, but it was a challenge for me having my father's passed away. He passed away when I was 10.
Okay.
And both of my parents are gay and lesbian. So 40 years ago, that was not a popular conversation in Harlem, the Bronx.
You didn't hear about that.
And my dad dressed in drag.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of developed some awesome hand skills.
Yeah, that's why you're creative, open, and that's amazing.
And not something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
But he was always a man, he was always a father, and I always knew I was loved and taken care of. And that's what allows me to love my son with the same passion and honor. And you know, shout outs to Wayne Brown Sr., Wayne Brandy Brown Sr., and shout outs to, you know, my grandfather that adopted me and raised me, James McPhee, may he rest in peace. And this is memorial time for them too right now.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
So officially it's 10 years this Friday passing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. May they rest peacefully. Thank you for sharing that. That's huge. Yeah, this is why I knew that you would be perfect for this, because I think that that's a really important share. And the thing is that, you know, I feel like our culture is so, you know, we're so capitalistic about these different holidays and things like that, but there is something about the honoring of our ancestors, the honoring of where we came from that is so integral to how we feel about ourselves, You know, you're absolutely right. Are you ready for the next question?
Maybe.
The next question is, what's your purpose?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, just to thrive,
Okay.
right? Just to thrive, to create, and just be like
Yeah.
just be in the moment and joyful,
Yeah.
fulfilled. Like just really be fulfilled in everything.
I think that's huge. Because I don't think a lot of people allow themselves to do that.
Nope.
Right? And I almost feel like that is why we exist.
Many times people have it mixed up. We all have success, but we don't all have fulfillment.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, especially living in New York City, we're so caught up in the doing that we don't understand how to just be. I love that purpose. I'm not, completely aligned with that in my life, but I do. It's something I'm very present to. Like, how do I just be? Especially when I'm, like, if you guys would have seen us, like, in the few moments and seconds just before, because trying to, like, connect with her on radio and know what's going on, and Gotham people are fantastic, and just, like, trying to make sure it's all connected and stuff. On the inside, I was like a volcano rolling. I was like, holy fuck! But it's through the personal growth work and this conversation of how important it is just to be,
right,
that there was a time when I didn't have that language and I didn't know how to just be and let it roll and let it work itself out, and I probably would have just lost my mind and ran screaming, and they would have been like, yeah, what's wrong with her? But yeah, you're right. I think right, they're laughing in the booth. But yeah, I love that purpose, just to be, and joyfulness. One of the stipulations of even being on this podcast as a special guest, and even as an audience guest, and you guys who've been watching for a while, I've had a lot of different people. But one of the requirements of even being on it is that you come with a level of joy. Because I feel like, we have to bring to our experience what we want to have, right? What? Why is that funny?
If you was in the car with me and my son about 30 minutes.
What was going on?
There's a lot of energy.
Was there?
A lot of energy.
Yeah.
Nah, it's joy though.
It was joy. It was joy. Yeah, no. I just remember from when I met him, he's a happy little kid. And rambunctious, right?
The kid got personality.
Yeah, I believe it. Are you ready for the next question?
Let's go.
All right. Name something that you identify as a true expression of who you are.
Oh, hands down. My roller skates and my airbrush.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that? That sounds like that's Harlem in the 90s. Is that where that came from?
Shout out to everybody.
Harlem in the 90s,
Yep,
right?
yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. I got to.
Yeah.
15 years. Like why I'm able to live out loud is because of that.
Yeah. I gotta say hi to some of the people that are coming in on the Facebook Live. I see Teresa, I see Kimberly, I see David Rush. Yes, your turn is coming up, and I keep telling you to give me a Monday because the summer's gonna go fast. This is another bad. The Bachelors are clamoring now. Everybody, they see you on here, they're all jealous.
Peace.
Right? And what's up, Candace Elaine? Hi, honey. And who else? We got Joseph Brown, Joe Woods. What's up, buddy? And Fern. Hi, my Fern. And Shanton and Rory. Hi, everybody. So you guys know that you can participate in this vulnerability quiz that we're taking. Feel free to comment on the Facebook if you like. I know it's like, being vulnerable on social media is kind of like putting your neck on the guillotine sometimes because people come back with their little comments and whatever. But we're not that kind of group. If you have something you want to say, if you want to interact, if you want to talk to Lyte, ask him any questions too, you can do that on the live. Are you ready for the next question, Lyte?
Let's go.
So what is your favorite thing to do for someone that you love?
One of my favorite things to cook.
To cook?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Are you a good cook?
I mean, I'm a grandma's boy, so at the root of it, it took. I didn't master that jump shot, but I know how to stir the pot, and I got my penmanship right. So.
Well, I want to ask about. Well, first, I do have Joe actually chimed in on he has a question for you. He wants to know, when are you the most at peace?
You know what? When I'm in the shower.
When you're in the shower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, the water or the solitude?
That's a good question. I think it's I think it's really like a renewing experience.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say something that
Uh-oh.
like I remember as a kid I didn't have a shower.
Wow.
And I always wanted to take a shower. Like
Yeah.
you know, and it wow, thanks Joe.
Right? He put you on the lap.
Yeah. I just never, until this moment I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
It just, we had this big bathtub, that case, with the standing on the four legs, but I didn't have a shower.
Wow. So as an adult, it's like an experience of just
Mhm.
like luxury almost. Huh? Yeah.
And it's renewing. It's just, it's just like, okay, all the crap is going off of you, goes down the drain. You cleanse from head to toe.
Yeah. I don't think that that's so unusual. I mean, my mom had a very similar experience in that when she was growing up, and my grandmother just passed away about 10 years ago, and the house that they grew up in, it was a one-bedroom house. My mom had 6 brothers and sisters. They all shared the same room, and there was only one bathroom in the whole house. And so, baths were like everybody just in the water, like get what you could, clean yourself as much as you could. And so my mom, I always remember as a kid, like her nighttime bath ritual was serious. Like it was full on, and she used to say that. Like I could never just cleanse myself and just take time with it. And that used to be her way to get peaceful. But what I was going to say earlier, what you were touching on about like, when Tanya's happy and when your son is happy, that you feel good, you feel happy. I think that that's such a valuable energy in a man. Like my father's always like that too. It's not, I don't think that a man should completely sacrifice himself, but to have the energy where you feel like if the people I love are good, everybody's safe and clean and has eaten and smiling, then I feel good. I feel like that's a very like positive, valuable, masculine energy that I don't want to cast aspersions or generalize about people, but I sometimes wonder if that's sort of a value that's disappearing. I don't know. I feel like, our generation, which I always say Generation X is like the therapy generation, on down, I feel like that value of like, if my family's happy, I'm happy, and taking care of my family is the priority. I wonder if that's like a fading value. What do you think about that?
I think it's like a toss of a coin. It's 50-50.
Yeah.
Because we've inherited our ancestors' ways and rituals, and then we fought so hard to just create our own lane. And I think we're at a time where we're trying to just kind of salvage, all of the great pieces, while still combining, the progressive parts as well.
Yeah. Okay. So I want you to tell us something that you want to share with other single dads and ones who aren't affianced, ones who haven't found a Tanya, the ones that are out there and still single and trying to figure it out.
Can I curse?
Yeah, please. It's on radio.
Oh, sorry. Get your shit right. No, like serious.
Yeah.
Like, and basically look in the mirror and be real with yourself. And I say get your shit right, because for you to have, and I'm still getting my shit right.
Yeah.
Like every day.
I feel like that's life. Like we'll always be getting our shit right, or otherwise you're dead.
And sometimes you have to be ugly with. You have to be intense, and you have to be ugly with the things that's ugly, or like the darker, the shadow side of you, so that you can tap into your light side.
Yeah.
And because it's not about you, it's all about your kids. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And constantly do an audit on yourself about that.
Well, let me ask you this, because how do you prioritize? Because for me, I don't have any children that I gave birth to. I have a lot of people that I've adopted and have I always say that I'm a childless mother because I just find them and just adopt them and take them on no matter what the age. But how do you, when you are absolutely 100% responsible for a child, how do you prioritize your personal needs in a relationship and also their needs? Because obviously, especially, I'm not going to say as a man, I feel like as a woman too, there's a particular type of person that you might be attracted to, and you might be attracted to a lot of physical things about them, and if you didn't have a child to worry about, you could just jump into something with them and have it be whatever. If it's just that you're just fucking every day or traveling or whatever, and you don't have to think too much about it. But obviously if you have a child, you want somebody who's going to be not only child friendly, but love your child, right? And somebody who's willing and open to get to know your child and maybe even help raise your child. So how do you prioritize your own personal romantic needs and your child's needs? Like, how do you even find that balance? Like, how does that even work?
You get creative.
Yeah.
Time management.
Yeah.
Time management. But you know, usually from male perspective, as a father, as a single father, you have to be honest,
Yeah.
and you have to set, clear, straight communication. I have my foundation of my interview, I have my requirements. I had let me
You have your
see.
interview. What, you interview?
Yeah, no, I had.
Tell us about that, please. So wait, like when you when you were dating,
God.
you actually do they know they're being interviewed or what? Please share. Where inquiring minds want to know. What is the interview process like?
I'm saying Steve Harvey. This is definitely not Steve Harvey's book or nothing like that.
Oh, good.
Nah, it's just I mean, it gets to a point you know what. My grandfather once said, "To thy own self be true." So I'm aware of the lies I tell myself.
Okay.
And I know the bull that I'm feeding into. So, but I also know that I'm accountable to my son.
Yeah.
And then a part of it is it's a risk, right? And a lot of times you don't hear men talk about how difficult or how challenging it is.
Yeah.
Because my son is first.
So what's a question that you might ask in this interview to make sure that this is, like she might be, looking all good and everything like that, but what would be a question that you would ask just to make sure that she's someone that you would even bring around your son?
The question, it's not necessarily the question.
Okay.
It's more about observing who the person is being.
Yeah.
And a lot of it comes from who are you with a no. So a lot of what I would do is I would test different areas of me just being a no.
Okay.
Right.
So wait, you would just say no just to test out and see?
A little bit, yeah. Because you got to think about you have a child, right?
Yeah.
And I watch this trying to hire a nanny, and it went horrible. I'm trying to hire a nanny, and the nanny's interested in me.
Yeah.
I'm like that doesn't work.
Flirting with you?
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna get this job, and then I'm gonna get this man, and then
we're at the park. I'm like, okay, you supposed to be watching my son, but you googly eyes with me. I'm like, no.
Yeah, yeah. So you had that experience where you hired somebody and they were flirting with you the whole time?
It didn't work.
But, yeah.
Nah, it just didn't work. So, like I said, fellas out there, you kind of know. You know what I'm saying when I say no.
Yeah.
Just ask it. Sometimes just gotta be no.
I don't know about that, Lyte. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I have no judgments because, like I said, I'm not a parent. But I feel like testing. I hate testing. Not that I hate being tested, because I feel like I'm pretty real. So if you're gonna try to test me, I'm gonna pass, and even if it means that I'm not the person for you, it's okay, right? But I hate the idea of and this is what I always coach too with my clients. I'm like, don't test people, and don't do things to try to see what someone will do, because then you're not necessarily getting an authentic, because I feel like when we do that, there's a level of like manipulation, and then they sense it, and then they do their level of manipulation. I don't know if you can get the truth through testing.
No, it's a no with conversation, because sometimes it's you can be a no while still being a yes to someone.
Yeah.
Like it's just I don't give in. I'm not going to just be a yes just to be a yes all the time. I'm not. It's just
I got you.
It's not going to happen. Because I can't. I know about the blame game.
Good.
I learned this from a woman. I learned this from my mother.
What did you learn?
I learned
Not to
this.
just be a yes?
Yes.
But here's the thing though, and ladies, I love
I'm in
you.
trouble.
I'm in the community and I've been there. I know. But I feel like a lot of times because of the culture we live in, there's a certain level of women feeling that they need to protect themselves from a lot of things. And in reality, physically, we do need to protect ourselves from a lot of things. But emotionally, the emotional protection of a woman is often a no, like a resistance. But resistance is something that, and this is going to be such a slippery slope, is something that hinders our ability to give into relationships, right? It like stops us from being able to be in that open, surrendering place where we get authenticity and vulnerability. So I think that if you ask any woman, especially any woman of color on the street, they will tell you, you got to say no. You got to, be in control. You got to make sure nobody breaks your heart. You got to protect yourself. That all of that stuff is valid because it comes from a place of having really, truly been hurt. But it's also what hinders us from really being able to get intimate and close with each other and have that human connection like you were talking about earlier. That loving connection comes from being a surrender, a yes.
This, if we as just, identity, male, right, female, man, woman, if we can understand that there's nothing to fight for the space that God has created, whatever you believe has, downloaded you into the body that you're living in, right? That you don't have to fight for what you are, and you just be that.
Yeah. And
then you connect with that next being.
Totally.
Then an amazing new being will come.
Will emerge. Right? Life is created.
Exactly.
Yeah. Art, creativity, people, humans, all kinds of beautiful things come out of that. Yeah. So let me see. I don't know. I got more. Joe is inputting again. He says women like to have requirements for a man to have. Or it's a no-go. What requirements do you have, and do you hold a woman to them? Oh.
Yes.
You hold a woman to your requirements. So what are a couple of your requirements? It's already at 48. We're like, this hour goes by, I always say that, it goes by way fast. But what's a couple of your requirements that you hold a woman to?
A word.
Oh, I love that.
That's it.
Yes, honey, yes. Everybody should be held to their word.
We're held to our word.
Yeah, accountability.
And I hold it to a no as much as it's a yes.
I know you like them no's. Yeah, let's do a couple more of these and then you can tell people whatever you want them to know. So, who do you admire most in your personal life?
I'm learning to really just admire myself.
Okay.
Right, and not from a conceited standpoint.
Yeah.
It's just, I used to say I had to become the role model I didn't have. And I have to admire myself to be the best for my son to be able to follow.
Yeah.
Because I really I look up to him. I look up to like he's a blank slate, just curious. And then that's why when I say myself, I'm looking at him when I'm saying that.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Oh, I love that. All right. So, what is your most desired future vision? Vulnerability quiz.
Yeah.
Just lay it out there, even if you don't think it's possible. But you know it's possible because you're in that conversation.
The two things that come straight to mind is hearing I do.
Oh.
Right? I do. Yeah. And right now, is really my facility for my young fathers.
Yeah. I see that. I feel like I can see that in the ethers. Yeah. Where would you have it, in Brooklyn?
So right now, I would love for it to be in Harlem.
Yeah.
Ideally, I mean, just the root where you come from. You want it to be where you've had the most pain, you've had the most challenges.
Yeah.
And I've had the opportunity to go back to my elementary school and do art, but it would be like dope if I could just buy my old building on 123rd Street, right? And just like, boom, we're gonna convert this to a whole fatherhood center.
Right.
Thank you, because I've never shared that with anybody.
Really? So now you just put it out there to the universe.
Yeah. Buy the whole corner building.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
You put your word on it, so now the creation has started, honey. Started without you even knowing. Now all the things are in play. Yeah, no, that's good. All right, so what is something that very few people know about you?
I like to sing.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can't.
But you can't sing. But you do like to shower, so that works out good.
Yeah.
You can sing in the shower.
But I don't know the words to all my favorite songs, so that's what makes me like.
Do you like make them up? You make
Oh
them
yeah. I blame Jodeci Casey for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You just sing all the riffs?
Yeah, him and Martin. I ain't been right since. Shout out to Martin Lawrence too.
Yeah. You did great. Like, you answered all the questions.
So did you.
Thank you. I mean, you guys know, those of you who've been following along, you know that the person who I do these quizzes with that has no idea what the questions are going to be. And thank you for sharing yourself and just being open and, rolling with it and, yeah, taking the conversation in whatever direction.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry about that. I think that that's great. My only regret about that is when it happens, I wish we just had more time to really delve into stuff, because you touched on some things that I would have loved to really go down that road, but then it changes the whole trajectory.
Yeah, bring me back, maybe.
You gotta come back. You gotta come back. After our Badass Bachelor Summer, we go back into having guest experts come on and just talk about what they're up to,
Okay.
like whatever projects and things like that. I feel like we definitely have to have you come back to talk about, your beginning stages of your facility, your housing facility, because I feel like that's gonna start happening in a big way. Yeah, you spoke it out there now. The universe is gonna align. All right, so how do you want people to find you? If you want people to find you, what do you want them to look for? All right, what's your IG, all that good stuff?
Best way to catch me is on Facebook, Wayne Lyte Brown. That's Wayne Lyte Brown on Facebook, or you can catch me on Instagram, Avoid Being Average, and avoidbeingaverage.com.
All right, so thank you so much, Wayne Lyte Brown. You were really, really fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And so those of you who were paying attention and listening on the Facebook Live, I know a few of you out there are also Badass Bachelors, and we've been talking about when you're coming on. You got to give me the Monday that you want, because the Mondays are going fast. We're already booked all the way, not all the way through July, but I think we only have 1 or 2 dates left in July, and then we have August, and then the summer is gone. And that's it, because I'm doing a different theme next summer. We don't know what that's going to be. But here's a couple announcements that I want to make before we go. My 12 Women, 12 Week Get Right with Mom for the Sake of Your Love Life Intensive is coming up. The result is that 12 women who have been surviving a painful or abusive mother-daughter relationship will move the past out of the way, throw out their emotional baggage, become vibrant, alive, magnetic, and passionate while creating the love life that lights them up and supports their happiness. If you're interested, click the link on my business page and take the questionnaire, or send me a private message on the Facebook. You can slide into my DMs, like the kids say. Candace Harper Love Coach is my business page, and on Instagram you can follow me at Candy Love Coach. If you ever start to feel like you're not getting the love you need, just make more and ask for Candy, because you are a love machine. And those of you on the Facebook Live, I thank you so much for being here too. Bye, Armed Radio. I know you're going now. Facebook Live people, Anthony, Brian, Sarah, Joe, thank you for participating. Harold, Lee, I don't know if you're still here. Ernie, Denise, so many people came on. Those of you who owe me dates for Monday, get at me and get me those dates. And I think that's it. Pretty soon we're going to be archiving everything on the YouTube. So if you want to start, looking at some of the old Ask for Candies or just listening to them, you can get them on YouTube. And yeah, that's it, people. It's time to say goodbye. Bye, everybody. Bye. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Woo. All right, I gotta go shut off the live video.